first. So what are we trying to do here? I think we discussed briefly about this yesterday. So we have a storage account, and the idea is as soon as the file lands in the storage account, it should be picked up for processing by the data pipeline. So yeah, so there is something called event-based trigger in ADF pipelines, Azure Data Factory pipelines, that we can leverage or use in order to get the job done. So this is just the problem statement. Yeah. So one thing I forgot about, the main thing is the storage account that we're using. First of all, it's version 2 data lake, and there is a lock on the storage account. So we'll just walk through all the steps that are there, and you can give some inputs here. So let me go to the portal. So by the way, I'm using my personal this Azure portal account.
No problem.
Yeah. So this is how the data factory looks like. And just a second, I just need to start from scratch so that we have everything. Okay. Publish completed. Let me refresh this. So let's go to the home page. And so this is the storage account. So let's first talk about the storage account. And you can see that it's V2, data lake V2 account. And inside it, we have containers, which is irrelevant. And in this case, we just want to get it working. I mean, get the trigger. So the ask is, once we have got this trigger established, we want to disable the trigger. So that is the ask. And if we go back to the storage account, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a lock on it. Oh, so lock is already there. So that's good. So this is the test lock. So, and it's of a delete type, I think, which basically means that we cannot perform a delete activity on this account, on this workspace, right? So let's go to the data factory now. And what I'm trying to do, or what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to link a trigger or build a trigger on this storage account. So I'll just do those steps. So let's click on new.
Your data factory is basically listening to that storage account.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So whenever there is a file kind of a thing dropped, so you'll start your processing through pipeline.
That's right. That's right. So you can see here we have 3 types of triggers. One is schedule. I think you're aware of this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
I know. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the event. Now it will ask for the subscription. Then it will ask for the storage account. So this is the storage account. And let's select any random container.
And I can maximize your screen. I think it is from my side only, but
so there is so you can see 3 dots on the top of.
But I don't see a full screen there.
Oh.
These teams, they updated of late, and then
Yeah.
I can only see
Focus is there.
Yeah.
Maybe let me zoom in it a bit. Maybe that will be helpful.
Yeah, but for you, the maneuvering becomes difficult if you zoom.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. It's okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. So we have selected the container. So let's select the option of blob creation. And now what we would have to do is just click on continue. So we want to activate the trigger. So let's click on continue. And then click on OK. Okay, so the trigger has been created. Yeah. And just a side note, I mean, if you happen to work on this, there is something called event. Sorry for that. Yeah, so there is something called, so we have to add resource provider, this event grid resource provider.
Yeah. So you have to register it. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to
To
register.
using it. I mean, you should register it for your
Absolutely.
subscription. Yeah.
So now what has happened? What have we have done is, just to summarize it, we have just created a trigger, and so this is something that I was talking about yesterday. Publish all. So we'll click on publish all. Let's see what error we got.
Contain no pipelines.
Yeah, oh, that's correct. So let's bind a pipeline to this. So this is the trigger. I mean, trigger in itself will not be relevant, right? So let's link it to a pipeline. Maybe having a test. So this is some test pipeline. And we will say edit. And we are just trying to bind this to that trigger. And click on continue. Click on continue. Click on OK. So yeah, so we have created a trigger and then we have linked it to a pipeline. Yeah. So my guess is this operation will be successful. But the thing that I'm looking for is when we are, say, disabling the trigger or pausing it, it will throw an error. So let's see whether this is successful or not. How's the work looking like today?
There are multiple things going on. So
yeah,
Fridays.
Right?
Yeah.
I think working from home, we have started working more, right?
More, and organization is becoming a bit difficult now.
Yeah.
Earlier we used to go office, close everything, and only attend calls that are important or in the evening.
Right.
But now, it's all.
I can't complain. So publishing has been completed. So so everything has went smoothly up till now. Now the task is we want to stop it or deactivate it. Why we want to do it? I mean, there could be a number of reasons behind this, but in our case, we wanted to use the CI/CD pipelines. And in order to, are you aware of DevOps CI/CD pipelines? Yeah. So for that to work, we first have to disable the trigger on the target environment. So, I mean, that was the requirement for us. So that's why we had to disable it. Now, if I disable it, I have to publish it, obviously. And if I go to publish, so it would have given that error. So let's this.
Yeah, insane.
So I think it will take some time. Let's close this. Okay, open this. So you see the scope, blah, 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 storage accounts. Cannot perform delete operation because the following scopes are locked. Storage accounts. So that is the conundrum.
Okay. These events that you are event trigger that you are creating, where are you creating them?
Inside the pipeline only. So this is part of the pipeline. So you mean to say these triggers, right?
Yeah. So if you are creating them as a part of pipeline, why is it again asking you to bind a pipeline to the trigger? You're creating triggers differently.
So think of the pipeline and trigger as two different entities, separate entities.
Independent entities. So you create trigger and then you link it to a pipeline.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now, why do you need to pause the pipeline, pause the trigger?
So there could be any reason. So, for example, we don't want that function. I mean, I'm just giving you a reason that we don't want this functionality to be performed, or we want to delete the trigger. So in our case, what we were doing is think of this as the QA environment. So what usually happens in case of ADF ADF pipelines, when we have CI/CD pipelines for ADF, you have to first of all disable the trigger in the target environment, because otherwise that throws an error. That's a known issue with ADFs, especially when you're using triggers. So for this reason, what we had to do was, what we have to do before deploying the CI/CD pipeline is to disable the trigger in QA environment, and then run the CI/CD pipeline. Only then that will go through without any errors, and then manually enable the trigger. So this works fine in case of non-event based schedule triggers. So that is the reason, I think, just to answer in short, that was the reason. But yes, it could be anything. If you don't want the event to be captured anymore, you can just stop it, right? So
when you say publish, what is that you are publishing? I understand when you change anything and then you want to let everyone know. So you publish so that there is a publish is nothing but checking in the code.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So when you say publish all here, what are we publishing here?
So think of it as, imagine this as a desktop application, right? And whatever changes that you have made, you want to save it. Right now, let's not think about checking in the code. So what we want to do here is whatever changes I've made, I just want to save it on the server. So that is something publish all does. So if I refresh my browser now, these changes will be lost in the sense that the trigger will again come to the activate state. So does it make sense? So publishing is saving your changes on the server on this.
Okay,
So
committing, basically committing the changes. So
yeah.
Now, so you, instead of active, you made it stop and then you published it.
Yeah.
So that
So right now, it's,
whenever you drop a file, whenever you drop a file, this event will not get triggered now.
No, it will get triggered now because these changes have not been saved. So
the publish all didn't work well.
That's right. Yeah. So if you see here, the publishing error. So we can see that it's on, it's deactivated, but it's not actually deactivated. The event will still
you
fire.
refresh the browser.
Yeah, I can refresh the browser. So you see, nothing message. Yeah, so you can see that it's still active.
So basically, when you are trying to pause the trigger, and do a publish all. Okay, can you do it again now?
Sure.
Fail to unsubscribe. Okay, I want to read those.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What is the first error? Trigger deactivation. First one is this is cannot perform delete operation.
So this is our storage account.
So what is the first? Can you paste that in the? Can you paste the whole thing here?
Sure.
Okay. The scope event grade cannot. Okay. Oh, so you enabled event grid, right?
Yeah.
So what it is saying is basically event grid is when you See, read this message clearly. The scope subscription slash, see the leaf. Leaf
Yeah,
is
yeah,
basically Microsoft.eventgrid slash event subscription slash.
yeah.
What is this?
No, actually, I was reading through this message yesterday as
Hmm.
well.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think they are talk. Yeah, so they are actually saying that the event grid cannot this resource event grid cannot perform a delete operation on the
Hmm.
storage account,
Hmm.
right? So
Cannot perform a delete. Basically, when you're so it is writing some metadata there in the storage account, which is something surprising.
yeah,
So the scope subscription, okay, slash resource group slash provider slash micro storage slash storage account or slash storage account slash providers. Okay, so what is happening here is in the background when you're this event triggers are actually part of event grid. So it will be a publish subscription subscribe model.
hmm,
So what it is doing is it is writing something. I don't know, for some reason it is writing something there, and when you pause, it is trying to delete that metadata. Where
okay,
and when you are pausing it, it is trying to delete that metadata from there.
yeah,
So which shouldn't be the case. Ideally,
yeah, yeah,
when event, so that is a bug or something which we don't know
yeah,
what is
yeah,
happening in the background. So
absolutely,
ideally, from this, see, they're showing the error properly. I mean, that
yeah,
error is valid because when you create an event based trigger
hmm,
on a storage account,
hmm,
um, which is okay. Uh, can you change the can you remove the lock and put a read only lock and try it once?
okay,
No, I just want to understand, if you remove the delete log, will it allow pausing and
sure, sure. Let's do that. So we'll go to the home and go to your data lake.
because read only is doing the same purpose. It will not allow uh, uh,
Anything, right?
but I don't know whether no,
I think if
can't
we
even
do read only,
can't even
yeah, if you
no,
create it, right?
you can't even drop a file in that case.
No, no, no. Dropping. Let's not. I think let's not talk about the actual event.
Okay.
Based on whatever information that you arrived at, I think that makes sense. So what I
Mm,
understand is if we apply a read only lock, so
mm,
when we are trying to create a trigger,
mm.
even that will not work because it will try to write some metadata in that
Yeah,
storage
yeah,
account.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Got
let's do that. Yeah. So I think that's a good point. Let's select read only. Click on OK. Okay. So we've got a read only. Close this. Refresh it. So I think we might have to go for a new trigger. Okay. Can we edit this one? It's already there.
No, no, just pause this and try. Now you just change the lock. Just pause this
No,
and try to
yeah,
perform.
so no, I was thinking, I mean, based on whatever we have discussed,
Mm.
my thinking is that it will now even not allow us to create a trigger. You're getting my point? Because what we have arrived at is if we are creating a trigger through event
No,
grid,
it should throw the error now cannot write. If it is
yeah,
really writing
yeah,
something
yeah.
and
So
deleting something, it should throw that error now.
yeah, so that let's try to do a second test actually.
Okay.
So that will actually prove the concept. So as you go, first data lake, first container, block creation, continue, okay, and activate. Now I have to link the pipeline. Let's edit this and select this, continue, continue, okay. Let's see what happens.
No, this will happen, but when you pause and then try to, or this shouldn't also this.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, so this should also not happen because it is not
Yeah.
allowing you to write.
Let's see what the error is.
Cannot write.
Yeah, got it. Cool,
Hmm.
Jeethu.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bug, but we have identified what is the issue, right? I mean, it's
Yeah. No, but ideally, if you are looking out for a event on a particular resource, I'm not sure why this event is writing some metadata
yeah,
there
yeah,
on
yeah.
same story. Ideally, it should ask for another storage account to write metadata,
Right, right, right.
right? You know, what is the point in having a lock then?
Yeah, yeah,
If your trigger itself is writing something there, what is the point?
right, right.
uh,
Let's
uh,
see whether we can see any metadata here.
no, no, that I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
It should have created if in the first place.
Yeah. So selected this one. Oh, it has some files. Are these created? No, there's something else. User data one. No, this is something else. Old files, destination service test. Yeah, but I think we have got got the information what we were looking for. That's always a great.
Interesting.
Finding something in the tunnel is always a good thing, right? Cool, Jeetu. It was
Yeah.
a great discussion. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think possibly we'll raise a ticket with Microsoft to look into it, right?
Yeah. Maybe you can reply back to that email so that everyone knows that that event itself is writing something into the storage account, which is which is pointless. I mean, you should not see my event information. You can event metadata. I don't know where you will write, or probably you should explicitly ask. I want to store some metadata. So in your trigger itself, you should ask where do you want the metadata to be written, like diagnostic storage or something like that.
Let's see if
Do you want to just check? I mean, is
yeah,
there any
yeah. That's
option there for the trigger?
yeah, that is what I'm going to do. So path ends with
So are you sure that the storage account name is the account name that the target that you want to listen to?
yeah.
Or
This is just a test that we are doing. So
um
uh,
no, no,
first,
your pipeline, okay, pipeline will not have any information related to storage account. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
So this is
trigger is
just at
not.
the trigger level. Yeah. So trigger is trigger with the help of event grid is doing something with the data
Mm,
lake. So
mm,
pipeline
mm.
is not have come into the picture.
Yeah.
So
So basically
yeah,
it is writing something there. And the
yeah.
storage account, oof,
Internet storage account. Do you see any option? No,
uh,
right?
no, but what is the storage account name it is asking?
Uh, so this is the storage account name that we should, I mean, tie to this trigger so that when something drops into the storage account, the event should be executed.
Can you go to a new trigger? Sorry, can you create a new trigger and show me?
Sure, sure.
New, okay. Schedule trigger, okay. Uh, okay. So when you create a trigger, it is right away asking a storage account name. Now, what if I'm not listening to a storage account?
No. So these triggers are only for storage accounts.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about schedule? If you change the type to schedule?
So this is something that we want to execute on a timely basis. So basically what we are doing here is, so you have a pipeline. If you know that, so for example,
Okay,
ETL pipe,
that's a batch process. Yeah,
that's the
got
batch process, right?
it. So when you say event, automatically it is shifting it to a storage account. Okay.
Yeah, so event, so you need a place where the event can be fired, right? So right now, Microsoft has linked it to the data lake only,
Okay.
because that is their primary storage, right? So
Okay. No, but the whole purpose of locking itself is being um, okay.
cool. I think we have. I think we have the information now. Tracking the metadata, you rightly said.
Yeah.
So you can reach out to the Microsoft team.
See, the reason
Yeah.
why I was able to do that is, so there's something called as resource group metadata, right? Whenever you create a resource
Yeah.
group,
Yeah.
you need two parameters. You need the name of the resource group and then the location of the resource group.
Yeah.
However, you can't see that. You can see it in the portal that your resource group name is this, and the location that it belongs to is East US or East US 2 or West US, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the resources that you are creating inside it. I mean, you can have a resource group in India, and then you can create resources in US.
That's right. Yeah.
So, but your resource group information is written in that location.
Yeah.
As in, my resource group name is Jeethu and the location is East US. So,
Yeah.
my resource group related listing information or whatever it is, that will be there in India.
Yeah.
Because the resource group is located in India, I'll only probably serve list get all these things from that location.
Right. Yeah.
But my location, my resources can actually be located elsewhere in the world. I mean, everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that way, so the resource group metadata is something which will be written in the location of resource group. And that
Yeah. Right.
metadata is nothing but the list of all services that are created inside.
Yeah. Right. Right.
They can be created anywhere, but
Yeah.
they're listing just to retrieve the information of resources and
Yeah.
where they are. That itself is stored in the resource group location. So that
Yeah.
is the reason when I see this pattern of error, then I realized, event grid is doing some writing and deleting there.
Yeah.
In the earlier case, it was able to write and not delete.
Yeah.
This case, it is not even able to write in the first place.
Yeah.
So the
Right. Right.
second use case confirmed that it is definitely writing something.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So as we had a read lock and it is not able to write, that means it is first writing, and then when you
Yeah.
are pausing it, it is not able to delete it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Perfect.
That is what is happening. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool, man.
Yep.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah. Most
Yeah.
welcome.
It was very
You can
useful.
reach out to me anytime with respect to
Cool.
Azure.
Cool.
Not that I'm a guru or something, but yeah, I'm kind of familiar with how things work in Azure in and out. So
Awesome. Are you
yeah,
familiar with data ops as well, Jeethu?
no, but when you say data ops, is it about the synapse and all these things that are
No. So you have this Azure DevOps. Sorry, I'm so confusing
DevOps?
the
Okay.
names. Yeah, DevOps.
Yeah, DevOps. Not really much into it, but yeah, these days nothing happens without DevOps, right? So
Yeah, that's right.
I have the theoretical knowledge and few examples I have worked upon.
Okay.
But yeah, everywhere it is the same logic, right? I mean, earlier it
Yeah,
used to be TFS in
absolutely.
on-premise. Now it is VSTS online, and then it has become Azure DevOps off late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool. What's your primary skill set over here?
Azure,
Azure.
IaaS and PaaS. Yeah.
Okay, okay, awesome,
Basically infra. Yeah.
awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, Jitu. I'll definitely be in touch with you,
Yeah. Yeah.
and maybe we'll disturb you more.
Yeah, no
So,
problem.
so
No,
just
no.
a heads up.
I keep looking at those emails whenever there is a issue email. I would like to jump in, no matter what my technology is. I will still try to apply some logic and get something out of it.
Cool, cool. That's always a good point.
Yeah.
Cool, Jitu. You have a
Yeah.
wonderful day. We'll keep in
Yeah.
touch.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure. Have a good weekend too. Bye.
Bye.